You have been brainwashed into believing that working more leads to burnout, but this is propaganda designed to keep you mediocre. The truth is that working on meaningless tasks for someone else's dream causes burnout. Working on your own vision creates energy and excitement that compounds daily. Every successful person in history worked obsessively toward their goals, while others called them crazy, unhealthy, or unbalanced. The same people who warn you about working too hard are often the ones working minimum effort and wondering why their lives never improve. They've confused activity with achievement, busy work with productive work, and time spent with value created. While they protect their leisure time, you could be building the foundation for a life where work becomes play, because you're finally doing what matters. The clock strikes midnight, and while most people are sleeping, dreaming about success, there are others who are awake, building it right now, at this very moment. Someone somewhere is working on their dreams while their competition rests. This is the fundamental difference between those who achieve extraordinary results and those who settle for ordinary lives. The difference is not talent, luck, or connections. The difference is the willingness to work every waking hour toward your goals. Success has a mathematical formula that most people refuse to accept. Every hour you invest in your future compounds like interest in a bank account. When you work 8 hours, you get 8 hours of results. When you work 12 hours, you don't just get 12 hours of results, you get exponential growth, because those extra 4 hours are when breakthrough thinking happens. Those are the hours when your competitors have gone home, when the phone stops ringing, when you can focus completely on moving your life forward. Most people have been programmed to believe that working more leads to burnout, that rest is essential, that balance is the key to happiness. This is the greatest lie ever told to ambitious people. The truth is that when you are working on something you love, something that matters to you, work becomes energy, work becomes life, work becomes the very thing that makes you feel most alive. Think about this carefully. When you were a child, did you get tired playing your favorite game? Did you watch the clock when you were doing something exciting? Of course not. You could play for hours without thinking about rest. The same principle applies to your adult life. When your work aligns with your purpose, when every hour brings you closer to your dreams, exhaustion becomes impossible because passion fuels you. Let me tell you about Jennifer, a woman who understood this principle better than anyone I have ever met. 3 years ago, Jennifer was working as a customer service representative, earning $35,000 a year. She had a comfortable job, reasonable hours, and what everyone called a good work-life balance. But Jennifer wanted more. She wanted to build something, create something, become someone who mattered. While her co-workers went home at 5 o'clock to watch television, Jennifer stayed up until 2 in the morning learning web design. While they spent weekends relaxing, she spent weekends building websites for small businesses. While they took vacation days to rest, she used her vacation days to attend business conferences and network with successful entrepreneurs. Her friends called her crazy, her family worried about her health, everyone told her she was working too hard, that she needed to slow down, that she was missing out on life. But Jennifer knew something they didn't understand. She wasn't missing out on life. She was creating the life she wanted. Today, Jennifer owns a digital marketing agency that employs 47 people and generates over $3 million in annual revenue. She didn't achieve this success by working normal hours. She achieved it by understanding that every hour counts, every moment matters, and every day is an opportunity to build something extraordinary. But here is what most people miss about Jennifer's story. She didn't sacrifice her happiness for success. She found happiness in the work itself. She discovered that there is no greater joy than knowing you are moving closer to your goals every single day. There is no relaxation more satisfying than the exhaustion that comes from productive effort. This brings us to a harsh reality that successful people understand, but others ignore completely. Every hour you are not working on your dreams, someone else is working on theirs. Every moment you spend watching television, scrolling through social media, or engaging in activities that don't move your life forward, you are falling behind. This isn't motivational speaking, this is mathematical fact. Opportunity cost is real and unforgiving. When you choose to rest instead of work, you are not just losing the productive value of that time, you are losing the compound effect of that time. You are losing the momentum that could carry you to the next level. You are losing the chance to separate yourself from the competition who are also resting. The wealthy understand this concept better than anyone. They know that time is the only resource you cannot buy more of, cannot save for later, and cannot get back once it's gone. This is why they maximize every hour, why they turn waiting time into productive time, why they see every moment as an investment in their future. But working every waking hour doesn't mean working without intelligence. It means being strategic about how you spend your time. It means eliminating activities that don't serve your goals. It means saying no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. It means understanding that entertainment, social activities, and relaxation should serve your larger purpose, not distract from it. The most successful people in history shared one common trait. They were willing to outwork everyone around them. They understood that while talent is distributed equally, work ethic is not. They knew that consistency beats intensity, that showing up every day matters more than showing up occasionally with great enthusiasm. Your future is being created right now, in this moment, by the choices you make about how to spend your time. You can choose to work while others rest, to learn while others are entertained, to build while others consume, or you can choose to be average, to blend in with the crowd, to wonder years from now what might have been if you had just worked a little harder, a little longer, a little more consistently. The choice is yours. But remember this, time doesn't wait for anyone. Success doesn't care about your excuses. Your dreams don't postpone themselves because you decided to take it easy today. Every waking hour is an opportunity to move closer to the life you want or to stay exactly where you are. The way you think about time determines everything about your future. High achievers have a completely different relationship with time than average people. While most people see time as something that happens to them, successful people see time as something they control and direct. They understand that every minute is a choice, every hour is an opportunity, and every day is a chance to create the life they want. When you study the mindset of wealthy and successful individuals, you notice something remarkable. They don't think about work as something separate from life. They think about productive activity as the very essence of living. They have mentally programmed themselves to find energy and excitement in effort itself. This is not an accident. This is a deliberate psychological conditioning that separates winners from everyone else. Most people have been conditioned to believe that work drains energy. They think that the more they do, the more tired they become. But this is only true when you are working on things that don't matter to you, when you are trading time for money instead of building something meaningful, when you are working toward a vision that excites you, when every action brings you closer to your goals. Work becomes the source of energy, not the drain of it. This is what I call the energy multiplication effect. The more you work on meaningful projects, the more energy you have, the more progress you make, the more motivated you become, the more success you create, the more capable you feel of creating even greater success. It's an upward spiral that feeds on itself, creating momentum that becomes unstoppable. Think about athletes during their peak training season. Are they tired all the time? Are they dragging themselves through their workouts? Of course not. They are energized by their progress, excited by their improvement, motivated by their vision of victory. The same principle applies to your professional and personal life. when you are working towards something that matters, when you can see yourself getting better every day, fatigue becomes impossible. But here is where most people get trapped. They fall into what I call the victim mentality about time. They say things like, I don't have enough time, or there aren't enough hours in the day, or I wish I could work more, but I'm too busy. These statements reveal a fundamental misunderstanding about how time works. You don't find time, you make time. You don't have time, you choose how to use time. Every person on earth gets exactly 24 hours every day. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not the amount of time they have, it's how they choose to use the time they have. While others complain about lack of time, achievers eliminate time-wasting activities. While others wish for more hours, achievers maximize the hours they have. Let me tell you about Robert, a man who transformed his entire life by changing his relationship with time. 5 years ago, Robert was washing dishes in a restaurant kitchen, earning minimum wage and feeling hopeless about his future. He was 28 years old with no college education, no business experience, and no connections in the business world. But Robert had something more valuable than any of these advantages. He had an unshakable belief that his current situation was temporary. Instead of watching television after his shifts ended, Robert studied restaurant management online. Instead of spending his days off relaxing, he visited successful restaurants to observe their operations. Instead of complaining about his low wages, he saved every dollar he could and planned his future restaurant business. Robert's co-workers thought he was obsessed. They couldn't understand why he spent his free time thinking about work, reading about the restaurant business, and networking with restaurant owners. They told him he was missing out on fun, that he needed to enjoy life more, that he was taking everything too seriously. But Robert understood something they didn't. He knew that his current discomfort was the price of his future comfort. He knew that working extra hours now would give him the freedom to choose his hours later. He knew that learning everything he could about the restaurant business would eventually make him the owner instead of the employee today. Robert owns 7 restaurants across 3 cities. His establishments employ over 200 people and generate millions in revenue annually. He didn't achieve this by working normal hours or maintaining work-life balance. He achieved it by working every available hour toward his vision, by treating every moment as an investment in his future. The most important thing about Robert's transformation was not the external change in his circumstances. It was the internal change in his thinking. He stopped seeing work as something he had to do and started seeing it as something he got to do. He stopped viewing effort as a burden and started viewing it as an opportunity. He stopped thinking about time as something that limited him and started thinking about time as something that could liberate him. This mental shift is what creates the compound interest of effort. When you put in consistent work over time, the results don't just add up, they multiply. Each hour of effort makes the next hour more productive. Each day of progress makes the next day more promising. Each week of advancement makes the next week more achievable. But here is the key. This compound effect only works when you maintain consistency. It only works when you refuse to take breaks from your dreams. It only works when you understand that every day counts, every hour matters, and every moment is either moving you forward or holding you back. The psychology of high achievers is built on this simple truth. Success is not an event. It's a process. It's not something that happens to you. It's something you create. It's not about being in the right place at the right time. It's about preparing yourself so thoroughly that when opportunity comes, you are ready to seize it. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. But like any tool, it must be programmed correctly to produce the results you want. When you program your mind to see work as energy, effort as opportunity, and time as the raw material of success, everything changes. You stop making excuses and start making progress. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating them. You stop hoping for a better future and start building it. Now that you understand the psychology of success, you need the practical tools to transform that understanding into results. The difference between knowing what to do and actually doing it lies in having specific strategies that you can implement immediately. These are not theories or concepts. These are proven methods that high achievers use every single day to maximize their productive output. The foundation of working every waking hour effectively is something called time blocking mastery. This is not about cramming more activities into your day. It's about ensuring that every hour serves a specific purpose in building your future. Most people let their days happen to them. They react to emails, respond to interruptions, and wonder where their time went. Successful people plan their time like military strategists plan campaigns. Time blocking means assigning every hour of your day to a specific outcome before that hour arrives. From the moment you wake up until the moment you sleep, you know exactly what you should be accomplishing. This eliminates decision fatigue, prevents procrastination, and ensures that your most important work gets done when your energy is highest. When you block your time effectively, you realize something powerful. You actually have far more time than you thought. The average person wastes 3 to 4 hours every day on activities that don't contribute to their goals. They check social media repeatedly, watch random videos, engage in meaningless conversations, and drift through their day without clear direction. Time blocking eliminates this waste completely. But the real secret weapon of high achievers is understanding the power of early morning hours while most people are sleeping. The most successful people are already several hours into their productive day. This is what I call the 5 a.m. advantage. And it might be the single most important habit you can develop. Something that I woke up at 5 in the morning. You gain 3 to 4 hours of completely uninterrupted time before the rest of the world starts making demands on your attention. No emails are coming in, no phone calls are interrupting you, no meetings are scheduled. This is pure focused time that you can dedicate entirely to your most important projects. The early morning hours are also when your mental energy is at its peak. Your mind is fresh, your willpower is strong, and your ability to focus is at its maximum. This is when you should tackle your most challenging work, your most creative projects, and your most important planning. By the time most people are having their first cup of coffee, you will have already accomplished more than they will achieve in their entire day. But working more hours is meaningless if those hours are filled with activities that don't move your life forward. This is why you must become ruthless about eliminating time wasters from your life. The biggest thieves of productive time in the modern world are social media, television, and meaningless social activities that serve no purpose other than entertainment. Social media platforms are designed to be addictive. They are engineered to capture your attention and hold it for as long as possible. Every minute you spend scrolling through feeds is a minute you are not building your future. Every hour you spend watching other people's lives is an hour you are not improving your own life. If you want to achieve extraordinary results, you must treat social media like a dangerous drug that you need to avoid completely during your productive hours. Television is another major obstacle to success. The average person watches over 4 hours of television every day. That's 28 hours per week, which equals an entire working day. Think about this carefully. Every week. You are giving away a full day's worth of time to activities that make you no money, teach you no skills, and bring you no closer to your goals. Let me tell you about Amanda. It's a woman who understood the power of eliminating distractions better than anyone I know. 2 years ago, Amanda was working as a personal trainer at a local gym, earning barely enough to pay her rent. She had dreams of building her own fitness business, but she felt like she never had enough time to work on it. Amanda's day looked like most people's days. She would wake up, check her phone for 30 minutes, drive to work while listening to music, work her shift, come home exhausted, watch television for a few hours, scroll through social media, and go to bed. She was busy all day, but never seemed to make progress on what mattered most to her. Then Amanda made a decision that changed everything. She eliminated all non-essential activities from her life. She deleted social media apps from her phone. She canceled her television subscriptions. She stopped going to social events that didn't serve her business goals. Instead of entertainment, she chose education. Instead of consumption, she chose creation. Amanda used her newfound time to study online marketing, learn about business development, and create content for her future fitness business. She spent her mornings before work writing blog posts and creating workout videos. She spent her evenings after work building her website and connecting with potential clients. She used her weekends to film exercise content and develop her brand. Today, Amanda runs a successful online fitness coaching business that serves clients around the world. She has created multiple income streams, built a team of employees, and achieved the financial freedom she always dreamed about. The transformation didn't happen because she suddenly had more hours in her day. It happened because she chose to use her existing hours differently. The key to Amanda's success was understanding the power of saying no. Every time someone invited her to activities that didn't serve her goals, she politely declined. Every time she felt tempted to waste time on entertainment, she reminded herself of her vision. Every time she wanted to take the easy path, she chose the productive path instead. Saying no is one of the most important skills you can develop. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that could change your life. Every hour you spend on activities that don't matter is an hour you cannot spend on activities that do matter. Your time is the most valuable resource you have, and you must protect it like a precious treasure when you implement these strategies consistently. You will be amazed at how much you can accomplish. You will find that working every waking hour doesn't feel like work at all. It feels like living with purpose, moving with intention, and building the future you want 1 hour at a time. The strategies you have learned mean nothing without consistent implementation. Knowledge without action is worthless. Understanding without execution leads nowhere. The difference between successful people and everyone else is not what they know, it's what they do with what they know. Day after day, week after week, year after year. Building unstoppable habits is the foundation of lasting success when productive activity becomes automatic. When working toward your goals feels as natural as breathing, you have created the most powerful force in personal achievement, momentum. Habits eliminate the need for motivation, willpower, or daily decisions about whether to work on your dreams. When working every waking hour becomes your default behavior, success becomes inevitable. The key to building these habits is starting small and building gradually. You cannot transform your entire life overnight, but you can make one small change today that leads to bigger changes tomorrow. Begin by adding 1 productive hour to your day. Wake up 1 hour earlier or stay up 1 hour later, but dedicate that hour completely to your most important goals. Do this for 30 days without exception, and you will find that this single hour becomes the most valuable part of your day. Once this habit is established, add another hour, then another. Gradually expand your productive time until working on your goals becomes the primary activity of your life, not something you do when you have spare time. This progression creates what I call the success snowball effect, small actions that build momentum and create increasingly larger results. When you start working consistently toward your goals, something remarkable happens. Small wins lead to bigger wins. Early successes create confidence for greater challenges. Initial progress generates excitement for sustained effort. This snowball effect is why the first 90 days of any major change are so critical. During this period, you are not just building new habits, you are building proof that you can achieve what you set out to accomplish. But let me be completely honest with you. There will be resistance. Your mind will create excuses, your body will feel tired, your friends and family will question your commitment, Your old habits will try to pull you back to comfort and mediocrity. This resistance is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It's proof that you are doing something right. The most common excuse people use is lack of time. They say they would work more if they had more hours in their day. But this excuse reveals a fundamental misunderstanding about how successful people think. You don't need more time, you need better priorities. You don't need more hours, you need better focus during the hours you have. Another excuse is lack of energy. People claim they are too tired to work additional hours, too exhausted to pursue their dreams after their regular job. But energy is not something you have or don't have. Energy is something you create through purposeful action. When you are working on something meaningful, when you can see progress every day, energy comes from the work itself. The excuse of perfectionism stops more people than lack of time or energy combined. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions before they begin working intensively toward their goals. But perfection is the enemy of progress. Taking imperfect action consistently will always produce better results than waiting for perfect conditions that never come. Let me tell you about Milan, a man who overcame every possible excuse and obstacle to build something extraordinary 3 years ago. Michael was working as a software developer for a large corporation. He had a stable job, decent salary, and comfortable lifestyle. But Michael had a vision that kept him awake at night. He wanted to create a technology startup that would revolutionize how small businesses manage their operations. Michael faced every obstacle you can think of. He had no startup experience, limited savings, and a family that depended on his steady income. His co-workers told him he was crazy to risk his secure position. His friends warned him about the high failure rate of new businesses. Financial advisors counseled him to stay with a safe path. But Michael understood something that his advisors didn't. The biggest risk was not trying at all. The biggest failure would be reaching retirement age, knowing he never attempted to build his dream. So Michael made a commitment that changed everything. He would work on his startup every available hour outside his regular job. Michael's schedule became legendary among everyone who knew him. He woke up at 4:30 every morning to code and develop his product before work. He spent his lunch hours researching competitors and studying market trends. He used his evenings to build partnerships and connect with potential investors. He dedicated his weekends entirely to his startup, treating Saturday and Sunday as full business days for 18 months. Michael maintained this schedule without missing a single day. While his co-workers relaxed after work, he was building software. While his friends watched sports on weekends, he was refining his business model. While others took vacations, he attended startup conferences and networking events. The transformation in Michael's life was extraordinary. His startup not only succeeded, it exceeded every expectation he had set. Within 2 years of launch, his company was serving thousands of small businesses and generating millions in revenue. Last year, Michael sold his company to a major corporation for an amount that made him financially independent for life. But the most important part of Michael's story is not the money he made or the success he achieved. It's the person he became through the process, by working every waking hour toward his vision. Michael developed capabilities he never knew he possessed. He discovered reserves of energy, creativity, and determination that transformed not just his bank account, but his entire identity. You have the same potential within you right now. You have the same 24 hours that Michael had, the same opportunities that Amanda created, the same possibilities that Robert and Jennifer realized. The only question is what you will choose to do with the time you have been given. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Every hour you invest in your dreams is a gift to the person you are becoming. Every moment you spend building instead of consuming is a step toward the life you want to live. Every day you choose progress over comfort is a day you move closer to extraordinary results. The path is clear, the strategies are proven, the examples are real. What happens next depends entirely on you. Your dreams are waiting, but they will not wait forever. Success is calling, but you must answer with action. The time for planning is over. The time for working is now. Begin today, continue tomorrow, and never stop until you have built the life you truly want to live.